Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From M.A.S.K Studios near Detroit, Michigan. It's unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
And now, here are your hosts.
All right, Monday, April 6th. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Rich.
We're all inside, so we don't have to have our face covered. But that's a new fun thing, huh? Have either of you guys done that yet?
No. I have a bandana that I have in my car that I was like, oh, I'll just wear this out. But I couldn't bring myself to do it. It felt too weird. I didn't have a lot of places to go either.
I had to go out between we're finally at a point now where I think next week I might not have to go grocery shopping, but we had to do that. And plus, too, my mom needed some stuff, so I had to go out, got some stuff. And yeah, man, first of all, I look like I'm trying to recreate like the Ice Cube photo shoot from America's Most Wanted or Death Certificate. But it's weird. And I was telling Mandy, like, if I'm a cashier, am I just now on edge and I'm assuming everyone's here to rob me? Like, I get it. Like, there's the surgical masks, the medical masks look fine, but like I said, me and like everybody else, like it reminds me of memes. I'm sure we've all seen them on the internet by now. Oh, the last time I went into a bank with masks and a glove, you called it a felony. So
yeah, and that's the thing. There's only I assume there's only one way to wear a bandana as a mask, and it's that traditional bandit style.
Yeah,
but there's actually, I saw this on Twitter. Somebody had taken a couple hair ties, and you take your bandana and you fold it up so it's just maybe about 4 inches wide, just enough to cover your nose and mouth. And you take the hair ties, wrap it around either side, fold the ends in, and then you can just put it on your face. Like it looks like a normal medical mask. So it still has obviously the bandana print, but it doesn't look like you're putting a bandana on to rob somebody.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to try that, because I had to stop at Target and I did see like most of the people in there wearing face masks, and I'm like, all right, well, at least I'm not going to be some weirdo.
Well, that's the thing is
this doesn't.
My wife asked me like, how is it? I'm like, put it this way, like where I went, there were so many people wearing masks. You were the weirdo if you didn't have the mask on. Like the store that I went to, like everyone, even the staff was all masked up. So,
yeah, I don't know, but it's funny because I see a lot of people with masks, but they've got it pulled down.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, right.
Well, I mean, yeah, I did that as soon as I got in the parking lot. But yeah, when you're in the store, that's kind of the point. And then today too, I dropped the groceries off to my mom, and she had some surgical masks still hanging out from when my dad was sick. So she was like, "Yeah," she tried to hand them to me. I'm like, "Mom, just drop them. Like, this is not how this works." Just drop them. Put them on the ground. You have them in a plastic bag. Just drop them. Like, no contact. Like, whatever. I wish I had her mindset. But to her, what's the big deal? Like, you're 71 and have diabetes. I can recover. You won't. This thing won't be nice to you. It's the innocence of the old people. So, Rich, have you been wearing these, delivering? Were you wearing masks?
The last 2 days, yes, depending, because I only have one, and when it's shot to shit, it's shot to shit. I mean, it was an N95, whatever the.
Oh, you got the good shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, but I only have one. I'm trying to track down some more, but I mean, like I know who of the regulars. If you're a regular, you're older. If you're a shut-in, you're somebody I know is going to have a problem. If they get sick, I'll throw the mask on. If I don't know who you are, I'll throw the mask on. If you're some 20-year-old guy and his wife, I'm gonna be like, bend over from your waist and grab your package. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like holding it out, like here you go. Yeah. Like I'm not coming up on your porch, dude. Here you go, take it. There's a reason that we're doing this no touch shit. That's not so we can get within spitting distance of each other.
Listen, as an introvert, I'm loving all this shit. But, yeah, I'm also trying not to die. There's a reason for this.
Yeah, pretty much. The roads are beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It is the fucking greatest thing ever. And I'm just like, wow. I think this is why I like the Mad Max universe. All that open road, no one else on it, so you can just drive forever.
Well, for me, you're right, because for me, as someone who used to go to New York City all the time, watching things like the Today Show, or anything that has the clear wall to New York City, and just seeing no traffic on those streets, for me, I'm just going, whoa! To me, that's what's blowing my fucking mind.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a little pocket. If you're from the area of Michigan where I'm talking about, you'll know, but I mean, it's 6:30, 7 o'clock at night on a weekday, and I'm driving for 3 miles through Wayne Westland on Michigan Avenue, and I don't see another car. Like, that's just like, and we're not talking 3 a.m. It's still daylight out. It would be the tail end of rush hour normally. So it's like, okay, people are starting to get the point. Thank God. Take this shit seriously. Stay the fuck home. Unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot more people getting sick who are these essential workers here. Either that, or there's going to be a lot of places getting shut down because the general managers or owners aren't ordering masks for their employees. And if you're wearing a mask every time you leave the house and you go to pick up food from a restaurant, you walk in and no one's wearing a mask, why the fuck would you order food from that restaurant?
Yeah, right now I wouldn't. Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying.
We're still learning. They could be breathing corona all over my food.
If you're going to take the extra effort to cover your face, you're probably not going to be too cool on a crew sitting there, with latex gloves on, no mask. So that's probably going to hit a few places as far as drops in business. I can see that happening.
Now, the one thing I still can't get behind is gloves, just because I've been in food service too. You and I are probably both on the same train, Rich. Gloves are dirtier than washing your hands all the time, because people use gloves as an excuse to, I don't have to wash my hands, they're covered.
It really depends. I wear them I won't go into all the reasons, but I do wear them on deliveries now, but I literally put them on, get out, walk up, hand them their package, turn around, take the gloves off, throw them away in a bag I have, and then get back in my car. I don't touch anything that you know what I'm saying? Once I get out of the car with those gloves, I dispose of them before I get back in the car. I don't even touch the car with them.
Well, the gloves in the retail and food service industry, that's for appearances, right? It's for the customer to think, they're taking the precautions. But all it's doing is protecting the actual worker from getting anything on their hands.
Yeah.
If you handle cash, that cash is tainted in some way, it's still going to touch the glove and then touch your cash and then get handed back to you.
Because I guess
it's not protecting the actual. You still have to protect yourself. Don't assume that because you got something from somebody that was handling gloves that item or whatever is clean.
I guess my whole point that I failed, I guess what I'm trying to say is, for me, it's all about gloves or no gloves. It's all about touching above your neck. That's how you get yourself infected. Glove or no glove on your hand. If that virus is on a glove or on your hand, you touch above your neck. That's how you infect yourself. So I guess for me, that's kind of how I look at it.
I mean, if that's the case, then I got some rough road ahead, because I'm a glasses wearer. My glasses are constantly sliding down my nose. I can't not push them up. And this is my last pair. There is no, this was my backup pair. And I'm not going to fucking America's Best in the middle of the apocalypse. Can I get fitted for some new glasses? Get the fuck out of here, asshole. No.
Can I get contacts?
See, the world's trying to end? Yeah, what are you, Don Amici in an old fucking Twilight Zone episode? You hope the world ends so you can be alone with your books and you break your reading glasses? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I was chatting up the woman at the FedEx office that I went to. I had to mail out a package, and I was just kind of making some.
It's so long you were pitching woo.
I was just talking to her about how busy they were, because it was just her and I in the store, and I was just curious about if because they have a sign on the door that says only 10 people allowed in, and that actually includes all the employees as well. So if you get 3 employees, that means you get 7 customers. So I I was talking to her about if they get busy. She says, yeah, occasionally, we have to have some people wait outside, but it doesn't happen often. But then she got into talking about the logs that they have to fill out. So any place, I don't know, I assume this is different county by county, but she says that Wayne County is monitoring her store because that's where it is. And they have to fill out some kind of log, like attest to whether they've traveled and how far, if they left the state, if they left the county. If they have, any reports of people that they've come in contact with that have tested positive. They have a thermometer there that everyone is obligated to take their temperature and record that. He said that the county's been coming in on a daily basis and monitoring all that information. And I thought it was interesting. I didn't know that they were going that far with trying to control. I didn't know that our county, and I would assume many others, were taking these steps. And it made me feel a lot better about having to go out and run the occasional errand. I still think different, a grocery store and, a convenience store or something like that is still kind of different because you have a lot of people rolling through, touching stuff and spreading stuff. But I don't know, I assume that fast food restaurants have to do the same stuff as well.
Oh, yeah, I've been dealing with it. My job is the 10-thing rule is, you have to limit people in and out. That's just how it is. It's everyone in the building. It's not
the limiting of it. The fast food, it's not so much about how many people you got in there because they're just doing drive-through anyway. But I'm talking about the monitoring of the temperatures and the travel and all this stuff. Made me feel good enough about how they're controlling this on the food service and retail side that I actually ate some fast food this weekend. Before I was like, I kind of want some tacos, but I don't want get coronavirus. I don't want them that bad.
Well, I tell you, with my job, the directive is the local health department is the boss. And that's really how it goes in a time like this. Because they're the ones closest to the situation.
Yeah.
So yes, you can feel good about eating at a restaurant that is open. Even if you live in Wayne County, Michigan.
Real quick, I'm pretty sure this is one of those pictures that gets turned into a meme that gets passed around and everyone goes, oh, this is our local liquor store. Have you guys seen the sign a liquor store put on its front door, though, about the coronavirus?
Oh, boy. No.
This is fucking great, and I wish every business
the
was open.
picture that I sent you guys?
Did you send that?
Coronavirus!
Where it says, COVID-19 is some real shit. Cover your fucking mouth. Shut the fuck up. Buy your shit. Leave immediately. This, no titty or sock money.
Yeah.
Why does it? Chris, you know. Okay, but it's
there might be some listeners that it might be confused as to what titty or sock money is. Just stop and think about it for a second. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Exactly, yes. And then stand back at least 6 feet, playa.
Yeah, I love that one.
Store capacity limited to 5 motherfuckers at once. See, this is where it takes the turn where I think my boss is like, no, we can't put this up. You cough, you die, and then drink responsibly, YOLO.
Yeah. That just tells me about the age of the person who wrote it. Whoever typed it up. But I agree with the sentiment.
Dude, seriously, I walked into a Speedway, and first of all, the doors are wide open, propped open. They're like, so you don't have to touch the doors. I was like, okay, I guess that's a nice little touch. And then they made like a line like they do at the bank. Where it turns into that little mini maze shit.
Hey, whatever you got to do.
And then they put on the floor X's.
Yep.
And they're like, stand here.
Yeah.
That person goes, move up 1 X. And I'm like, do people see it takes that?
Yep. People are dumb.
Well,
Walgreens is set up like that right now, too.
And this is to help places manage people. You don't want a bunch of people in line and they're all going, are you 6 feet from me? You need to back up. If I back up, this guy's got to back up. We're all too close to each other. You spend half of your man hours just trying to shuttle people around and keep them away from each other.
Sounds like a skit from The Simpsons.
Yeah,
really does.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I've become very judgy about people in public now. all the I had to go to Walgreens last week in the middle of the week for something. Like the wife needed something, and I'm the volunteer to go. I'm the volunteered person in the household to get Corona. And I go, and all the employees are hanging out, and they're talking, and they're all in their 20s, and they're all like fucking like a foot from each other. Like, Jesus fucking Christ! Dude, none of you people pay attention to anything.
Yeah, but look, if they've probably all had their temperature on log. As far as they know, they're all clear, right? And they're all forced to work in the same building together. Like, I don't know. I would, if I was working retail right now, I would not be insisting that all my fellow workers stay 6 feet from me. I'd figure we all got to work in this building. We've all been approved to work in this building. That's it.
See, that's
unless
you
I
and
see
I are
some
wired
motherfucker
different.
coughing.
Well, you and I are wired different because I'd be like, if we want the customers to act like this, we got to do this. But that's just a difference. It's a philosophy difference between you and I. Like this, because that's what I would do. Like, if we want these people to act like this, we got to do this shit because we have to put up X's on the floor. Apparently, like Rich was saying, but it is what it is. Whatever everyone's got to do, right? But tell you where I was today, everyone was masked up and no one was standing close to each other. At least the people who work there.
Yeah, I think it really depends on kind of where you're at, age of people. Like there's not any one factor that's going to be like you're an asshole, makes you an asshole in public. It's a lot of different things, man. I mean, I was in Shacktown, and I literally I'm not joking, there was like 25, 30 people just all gathered at the end of one of the dead end streets in Shacktown, and they got like 3-4 barbecues out there, and they're barbecuing the other night. And I'm like, and we're talking people our age and younger.
Well, you're like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I ain't getting the virus.
Like I said, remember that video game Paperboy?
Yeah. Here's your pizza, see ya.
Open your window, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, I was I watched a little bit of the press briefing today.
Oh, you heard him in his reading. This is how I sound when I read.
God,
I'm in my reading.
cannot.
This is my reading pentameter. This is my reading cadence. When I'm reading, I sound like this. Oh. Tony was sitting down today. Did you see that?
It's so crazy to listen to that monotone and the pauses and his adlibs. What was it? He's like, oh gosh, maybe it'll come to me. There is something that he's talking about this tragedy, and he's got everything's great, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you not put "great" on the as a modifier to everything? Like these aren't great things that are happening.
Great, tremendous. Oh, yeah. These are all of his descriptors.
Yeah, tremendous is kind of a little more neutral, but great has a positive connotation to it. And when you keep putting that on the number of deaths, then
although yesterday
this doesn't seem like you're hitting the right vibe.
He's bleak as fuck. Yeah, he actually said yesterday there's going to be a lot of death. I was like, oh. Jesus Christ! He just came out and said it. God damn! Like that was just kind of a moment where I was like, wow. It was kind of a moment that hit me like a ton of bricks. Like Jesus Christ, he just didn't care. There's going to be a lot of death this week. All right, buckle up, everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not like he went out there and said, "I need to give it bluntly to the American people."
No,
today. It's just he doesn't have a filter.
Well, I guess hearing it come from any president's mouth, like, oh, damn, but coming from his with no filter, it's just, Jesus Christ. All right, well, stay inside, everybody. But who's dressing Burks? Like yesterday, she had on some crazy Technicolor fucking handkerchief cape. Today, she had on something on the side that kept falling off her shoulder. Can we just put her in some regular accessories, please?
I don't know.
Trying to make her the Johnny Depp of doctors.
I was tuning out as well when she came because she brought out the graphs.
Oh yeah, that's.
And I'm like, I don't think these graphs are really telling anyone anything. I mean, they might be full of true, accurate, and useful information.
Aaron,
but I don't know that the public's doing anything.
You are doing what the news networks do. You tune in for the circus, and when the circus is over and the informational part shows up, like collectively as a country, we go TLDR, and then we switch the channel.
Yeah,
that's the part I'm tuning in for.
Unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
Unregimented.
Well, I'm not remaining ignorant to the numbers. I'm just not getting them from the White House press briefing.
But
I just don't think their messaging is all that effective. Showing a couple graphs. What I'd like to see more is just. I'd like to see him concentrate. Just the media in general, the press, the doctors, the scientists. They should be concentrating more on projections and showing us. Like show me a graph that plots out how successful we are in controlling this. If 70% of the American population follows the stay indoors and wears masks, and then show me 80, and then show me 90, show me that so that people can look at that graph and go, where do we want to be?
I think obviously they have put out those numbers.
We want to be up at the 90 plus, and then that's going to be our best.
But I think they have put out those.
Can I just finish the sentence? I want to be in that 90 plus range, so that it gives us our best chance of defeating this. And I personally want to be in that right group.
Yes, but when they put those out, that's not what gets talked about. The death projections get talked about. Like, those things have been released, but what's the sexier headlines? What gets talked about most? The death projections. That's what we had, was it last week or a week and a half ago, when they had to explain how a data model worked to the press. Like, listen, like the mod, where they're talking about the difference between the models where if we didn't do anything versus the models of based on what's happening now. Like I said, those aren't the sexy numbers of the here's what'll happen if we do. The sexy numbers are not.
Like, I just don't think that the raw numbers are effective in helping people understand how their behavior plays into this bigger picture.
So here we go. So we got to dumb it down because people don't understand things. I guess my whole thing is with this, like, give me the information.
I'm not talking about dumbing it down or ignoring information. I'm talking about the types of information that the White House and the media are pushing to the American people about number of cases, number of deaths. I think that should be reported on. But if you're going to show us the graphs that are supposed to sum this all up for us, you really should be showing us the ones that can show us the projection of how our behavior can contribute to this. That's what we should be focusing on.
Okay. But again, it's out there, but it's not being talked about.
Yeah. Okay. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm saying that I know it's out there, and that should be our focus. That's my point.
Look at it from a crowd control point of view. All right. What's going to keep people more likely to keep their ass indoors and slow the spread of this as best we can? It's not going to be reassuring them that if we continue to shelter in space, then we will have minimal casualties. It's going to be like, oh man, it could be like 250,000 people. Do you want to be one of those 250,000 people? Better keep your ass in the house.
I think, but most people assume that they're not going to be one of those 250,000 people. I think of it more like a movie that gets a good review, right? Movies that get good reviews, more people go out and see them because, hey, everyone's going to be seeing this movie and talking about it. I don't want to be one of the people who hasn't seen this movie, so I'm going to go see the well-reviewed movie, whether I know anything about it or not. A lot of people are like that. And in the same way, you can just go, hey, if we just managed to get 80% of the population to follow these guidelines, we could control this really well. I want to be part of that 80%. I want to be on the good side. Sure, you're always going to have your idiots and your black sheep that think that they know better or want to go their own way. But in general, if you just put it in the numbers of like, hey, if most of us get on board with this program, you're going to naturally see the joining instinct of humans kick in, and they want to be with the right side.
Well, you hope. I mean, I really think it's a small percentage of people who think that they're immune to this or somehow it's no big deal. But still, it is a little shocking and eye opening to turn a corner in a neighborhood and be like, why is there a block party going on right now? Like, are you fucking serious? Like,
I saw Jackass today on CNN, the fucking preacher in Louisiana. He's going to bus people to his church. He should be charged with a crime. Like that you're going to be able to connect deaths to this fucking idiot.
Do you think he's like, okay, only if you're over the age of 60 or have an underlying health condition can you get on this bus. Make sure to fill out, you leave all your worldly possessions to my church. Did you sign your will? Get on the bus. Did you sign your will? Get on the bus. Come on, man. It's like, what? It's got to be a scam in there somewhere. Unless he's like, do you guys really love Jesus? Here, I got a quick way to meet him.
You know, and I was so angry, like, hearing this guy. I didn't hear half the shit he said, but it was the typical, like, you know, Americans believe in freedom and, you know, freedom of religion and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Great. You're going to kill a whole bunch of people because Jesus. You're a fucking idiot.
Am I the only one who ever like had a drug and or booze filled Saturday night that turned into Sunday morning and would be running through the channels, just channel surfing, and see that they had plenty of masses of all faiths and all denominations for shut-ins every Sunday morning?
If you're living in the Detroit area, you know how you were up late on Saturday? You saw Mass for Shut-ins come on, all right? If Mass for Shut-ins was on you, oh shit, it's past 5. I gotta go. Yeah.
There's that creepy nun bitch. Get me out of here. All right, let's go. Well, yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. I think it's a control thing. I think people are scared and they feel like, well, fuck it. This is, at least I'm in control. I'm going out. What are you going to do about it? Don't tell me what to do. All right, well, I understand that on a base level, but that doesn't mean that it's the smartest thing you could do. It doesn't mean that it's someone's going to pin a medal on your chest for it. It's quite the opposite.
I just got to say, yep, I'm a sheep. A sheep is going to be alive in a couple months. So whatever.
Well, it is funny listening. It is funny listening to people talk about the mask thing, because a week ago you got the hairy eyeball and side-eyed if you were wearing a mask, and yeah, literally in the last 2 days, no, it's become, well, that's just another thing we're going to have to get used to seeing for a while. So I mean, fuck it. Maybe we do need to lose some of the self-conscious and you know. Oh, do I look like an idiot? Are you still alive? You want to be cool and dead?
Yeah. Well,
it's not really about looking like an idiot for me. It's about the feeling that I'm making other people uncomfortable. That's what keeps me from wearing a mask in public so far.
See, now that the CDC has come out and said,
but now I'm going to be the guy who's making other people uncomfortable because I'm not wearing a mask.
Going the other way.
I was going to say, like, yeah, now it's the other way. Now it's like, why does this guy care?
Why don't you got a mask? Mm-hmm. Get you a mask.
How come you no got no mask? No, but for me, if it was just me and me, I wouldn't give a shit. But since I got to deal with my 71-year-old mother, then fucking I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. I already told her, we got one knee in the ground. Let's let nature take its course with you. Let's not hurry it up. So I wear a mask.
Yeah, and I have been trying to, you know, I've got asthma, and I control it with medicine that I get from India. So I'm pretty vulnerable right now. Right, my meds are going to be, they're already held up because of just, you know, the whole world is in disaster right now. So having stuff shipped from another country is going to take a lot longer if it ever does get here. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and on Amazon, if you order something that comes from China, it just sends you a laughing emoji as a response.
Yeah, we'll send it right over by carrier bat.
Yeah. So what? Bojo's got Bojo's in the hospital. England's Trump is in the hospital.
Oh, Boris.
Yeah,
Boris the spider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so he announced he had it like a while ago, and then it's like, everything's a little too quiet. Because
the whole reason that he was tested, the whole reason he was tested, he shook hands with somebody who then tested positive for it. So they're like, well, we better test you too. And
so's Trump. It just,
like Friday,
for whatever reason, man.
He came out Friday. He said he got tested again. He got one of the new 15-minute ones. He said he's playing
Trump. This is probably the first time that he was tested. Remember when they asked him about the first test?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, that was it was not fun. It was I don't know.
I thought Mr. He ejaculates good health. Why would he get sick? He's beyond getting sick. Way to waste 2 tests we could have had given to hard-working Americans on the front line there, Donald.
Yeah, but Rich, he's in a catch-22. Like, if he takes a test, he gets that kind of shit. But if he doesn't take the test, then he gets shit from other people saying he should be setting the example as a leader and taking a test. Like, he can't win with a test. God damn it! I feel like I'm defending him. Jesus Christ!
I don't give a shit that he took the test. I'm just fucking.
I don't think it. Yeah, I mean, look, he's the president. The president should be tested on a regular basis for this shit. Who else?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just being, because I know there's someone out there right now saying that exact shit right after you said what you said. Oh, okay, thanks, asshole. You know how that's I just stubbed my toe. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Telling you, you keep having imaginary conversations with idiots, you're going to go crazy.
So we have our first world leader that's been hospitalized. We might lose this guy. Because I said, he looks like he's got the same diet as Trump. Looks like he does the same amount of exercise as Trump.
I mean, this guy, Boris, is kind of a little bit different animal because a lot of this is affect.
Exactly. I was about to say. This is put on for show. He's seen
as purposely messing up his hair before he goes out to talk to the press.
He's definitely doing it.
Yes. This guy's a gold bricker.
No, but I'm saying you can't. So what, is he putting on a fat suit? You can't fake that. He looks like you lose a couple lbs.
Yeah, he looks like he could lose some weight, but he's got a dad bod. He looks like every average American man.
I'm just
walking
saying,
around.
He purposely accentuates his dumpiness, and I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not saying he looks like the picture of health, but if he and Trump both had it, and we were betting on who was going to go down first, I'd bet Trump.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, well, that's true. Britain's got their NHS. We don't. But what else about it? Anything else regarding that, really? I mean, should we send him a card?
I'm gonna send him a get well hairbrush.
Yeah, here's some fluoride and some floss.
This looks disheveled. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's on purpose, but it's like, still, damn, dude, really? Like, you couldn't drag a comb through that shit? Not once? All right.
And what is this other story here? It looks like the Italy, Spain, and France. It all had fewer deaths in the last few days than they have. Is that what that says? Or is it infections, or is it both? Does it seem they're coming down their hill? Is that what this story's telling us?
Well, that's what I've heard multiple times over the last, 3-4 days listening to NPR. They're like, other countries seem to be past their peak, and they're coming down the other side. This is what they did. One of the debates was, what do we do? Do we crack down on the country and just be like, for 2 weeks, you ain't leaving your fucking house, and do what China did? Do what North Korea does? Just lock it down. Don't care.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of the problem with getting all this bad info from China, though, right? Like, the early narrative was that their lack of caring about human rights actually helped them in defeating this. But now that we know that the numbers coming out of China aren't reliable, we have no idea if it was effective or not. It could be that, they were their same old China, don't give a shit about individual rights, lock everyone down, and it made zero difference to the spread. I mean, I don't see how that could be completely true, but again, we just don't know.
Well, one thing I did
we can't really look at any numbers from China with any validity at all.
Well, yes and no, because I did kind of have this thought about those numbers, because when you dug into it, wasn't it mostly about that China had more than likely falsified about how many infections and deaths they had? The thing that I guess what I got into is the thing that you can't fake right now is how their infection rate is falling. how their deaths have fallen. While they may not still be reporting all of them, they're still reporting, I guess, significant.
If you never knew the accurate number in the first place, then you don't know how much it's falling by.
I guess.
Yeah, but if they're willing to bullshit it to the point where you can't trust any of their numbers, why would they ever report that it got worse?
I guess another thing too. I guess you can't fake lifting a lockdown. They did that too. I guess is kind of where I'm like. Granted, yeah. Trust me, I'm with you. Trust me, I'm on both sides of this, Aaron. Like, yeah, like it's probably it could be all bullshit now. It's all flawed, but at the same time, like you can't fake lifting a lockdown. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe now. Like I can make points on both sides of this argument now. Means I got to get out of the fucking house.
Well, you can look at data from China and look at other countries and kind of extrapolate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not that China was so far from how this affected the rest of the country, or the rest of the world.
Yeah, so but again, it's like I told Rich in our little pre-show chat. We mentioned that on the Wiesman. Just we're building the car as we're driving it with this whole thing because this virus isn't even 6 months old yet, allegedly. I have to say that because the information where it came from comes out of China. Or when it started, came from out of China. So, yeah, it could have shown up in November, and we not known about it till December, for all we know.
Well, here's a pretty fucked up story. I literally just saw it was just posted 13 minutes ago. It's via National Geographic. A tiger tests positive for coronavirus at the Bronx Zoo.
I kept seeing that, but I wasn't sure. Like, what is Joe Exotic? Does anyone talk to him?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, okay. This tiger is the first one who's tested positive, but 6 other cats are exhibiting symptoms consistent with the illness.
You tell me I got to worry about giving my fucking cat the virus? Get a little mask, 4 little gloves.
If that's the case, my cat. The body cavity it likes to present to me the most is its asshole. So, I mean, I think that's pretty much watertight. Even if I sneeze on it, she's going to die. But, yeah, I had heard a story about...
No, that's a good question.
A few dogs that jumped to. What, sneezing on a cat's asshole?
You could give it right. There's got to be a doctor like you can write into and be like, "Can I get my cat sick by sneezing on its asshole?"
Dear Dr. Doolittle. It all started when my cat sauntered seductively into the room. Also, Dr. Doolittle
never thought it would happen to me.
Yeah. And Dr. Wow, this story took a hard left, and I like it. Calm down, dude. But yeah, no, I'd heard it. I heard stories in other countries
into existence as a kink.
Rule 34. 4chan's working on it as we're speaking. Yes. But yeah, I'd heard stories about like a couple dogs that had died of coronavirus. I think last week I heard stories about it, and I was like, what the fuck are people doing to their dogs to get it sick? I mean, I understand that, like, there's a certain type of white woman who lets a dog kiss it in her mouth, like directly in her mouth, but...
You guys watch Tiger King yet?
I'm on episode 3.
But I'm just saying, still, it's like, are they getting a little too forward with these animals? Is this some Kinky Kelly and the Sexy Stud shit from Clerks 2? I mean, really?
The way these people in Tiger King hang out with their cats, I'm surprised that those tigers don't have, herpes sores on their mouths.
One might. Yeah, you haven't gotten there yet. Said too much.
I'm assuming somebody's going to fuck a tiger at some point. They have to. Because like I said, I'm on episode 3. Each episode keeps escalating.
Yeah. Okay.
You watch the first episode, you're like, "Oh, this is insane," and then it just keeps piling on. Each one's another layer.
I told you at some point you're going to be like, "I feel like I'm in an acid trip," and tell me you're 3 episodes in. At any point, by now I had at least done it at least twice. by now episode 3, I've at least paused at least twice and just gone, the fuck am I watching? And then just hit pause and then kept going.
I find myself pausing often and even taking breaks. Sometimes I just have to take a shower in the middle of an episode.
Yeah, like it's, I told you stick with it, man. I told you, like, dude, it gets crazier. Like, strap the fuck in.
But so far, I'm sure there maybe there will be some more information coming to light as we go on. I guess there's going to be another kind of button episode that they're looking at producing for this to follow up on some of these stories. But the idea that Carol killed her first husband and fed him to the tigers, I don't buy it for a minute.
You are the only person in the country that does not think she fed that dude to a tiger.
Apparently. And, I think that a lot of people, you look at that woman, you really think that, what's the plan here?
Keep watching.
Keep watching. That she poisoned him, staged his escape from the country, processed his body, fed it to the tigers,
dude,
and
I'm
left
telling
no
you,
evidence.
I had all of these thoughts.
That woman did that?
I had all of these thoughts, and by the end, you're like, that bitch fed that dude to the tiger.
A dude who had a family when he met her.
Oh, I had all of these thoughts.
Eventually left them, and then had another family while he was with her,
Mandy and
was in another country.
We talked about all this.
Costa Rica.
We talked about all this, but by the last episode, you're going to be like, she fed that dude to the tiger.
I swear to God, Aaron, you need to become a defense attorney. Because like, you no way she fed that man to the tiger. And Chris is right. I've yet to see or talk to anyone who's watched this who's been like, oh, that bitch killed him and fed him to that tiger. Like, that's everybody. So you just need to be a defensive attorney, man. Seriously.
You missed your calling.
If she did it, then she has, I don't even know. Like, she is a wholly unique person. She's not even a psychopath. The only way I can imagine her committing a murder and then talking about the disappearance of her husband like she doesn't know what happened on all this footage that we have of her, she would have to have her memory wiped. There's no way that she is lying that perfectly, and that
Let's keep watching, man. You're only halfway there. There's a whole bunch of shit that hasn't even popped yet. And hey, he got his wish. He's a fucking celebrity now. He wanted to be a TV star. He got his wish. And yes, by the way, that was not him. Apparently, he sang some of that music.
I don't follow. Who are you talking about? Who got their wish? Who's singing music?
Joe Exotic.
Oh, okay.
He got his wish to be a TV star. And then, in all of those videos, some of that's him singing and most of it's not.
Oh, I figured. It doesn't sound like him. Please. I mean, he's talking. Everything is all this footage of him talking like this. I got my tigers out back, and I'm going to record this song. And, all right, ready to roll? And I went out to the beach, and I saw my tiger. Like, that ain't you, bitch.
Unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net.
The Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares Sweepstakes is back. It's the largest official game of Super Bowl Squares ever, with millions of dollars in prizes, and best of all, it's free to enter. Every score change, someone wins $50,000. Just enter for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com, and it could be you. Touchdowns, field goals, safeties, extra points. Every single score change will draw one lucky winner from the square to win $50,000. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. One way to enter, 2 ways to win. See rules and enter for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Then tune into the Super Bowl on February 7th to see if you bring home some dough. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 55.
No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 2/4/2021, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030. The NFL entities as defined in the official rules have not offered or sponsored this promotion in any way.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Unregimented.
So to tell you you're going to be okay at the Bronx Zoo? You going to get a ventilator? Are you informed?
Yeah, I highly doubt it. Yeah, I have no idea. I just, like I said, it looks like a breaking news story. It's just, to me, it's like, okay, so this isn't part of the discussion we're having. Is this airborne? If it is, for how long does it stay airborne in the area where it was put into the air, et cetera, et cetera? I mean, if there's it's hope, but there is Tiger King. Tell us differently. Let's hope there's no funny business with the tigers, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's not...
Well, it has to have something. It has to have a carrier, right? It's this virus gets airborne because a person coughs. They cough out, their phlegm and saliva and all that, and the virus is in that. So we know. Well, we have data on how far droplets go when an average person coughs, how long that can usually stay in the air. And how that settles. So it's not like there's special qualities to this virus that we need to nail down as far as transmission. I think we have all the information of transmission.
Hopefully. Figure this shit out. Just cover my face in public's weird.
I mean, an actual virus that's able to just not attach to anything, just float around on the air.
That's out of horror movie shit. That's horror movie shit.
I don't know that exists anywhere that we've ever seen an instance of that.
It's been good knowing you fellas that if that shit's going on.
Right, because if it could just live and float around without having, to be attached to anything or have any certain conditions to thrive, then it probably would have wiped us out already.
Yeah.
So I would assume that there had to have been some sort of either direct or indirect contact that happened. I don't think this necessarily points to a wider range. I mean, these cats still come into contact with surfaces and areas that humans are contacting with. I don't know if any of the zookeepers would have direct contact with an animal of that size. I would assume not. But still, they're handling their food.
Yeah.
And probably not taking precautions because they're not thinking about that.
Breathing
they're not thinking about transmitting a disease to an animal.
And if you have an outdoor cat, you gotta buy a little mask. Here you go, Boots.
That's a very good point. If I had an outdoor cat, I would not be letting it outdoors right now, because if this can be transmitted to cats, if it can then be transmitted back to people, well, then your cat's going out and doing God knows what.
Till what? Till all hours of the night.
It's
God knows
collecting all that coronavirus in its butthole, then it licks its butthole, and then it licks your face.
And then Rich sneezes on it.
And he films it for 4chan.
Yeah, why not? Shit. I know my audience.
I don't know if I've asked you guys this question. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. Who cares? If you find yourself every couple of days just stepping back and going, the fuck is going on? And then just going back to your normal day. To just kind of collect yourself and just go, what the because I have to. Because I'm the cool head around here, right? Because I have to be. So just every now and then, I just what the fuck? Just say it out loud and then go on about my day. To just kind of be, Jesus Christ. What world, what B disaster movie are we living in?
I think with me, it's more of, I'm kind of past the, wow, this is strange. We're in a shitty sci-fi,
yeah,
tornado virus or some shit like that, like some bullshit. But now that I'm back at work, it's watching all these people that I've worked with, some for years, some for just a short period of time, but who were all strutting their shit about being invincible and this ain't shit. It starts to sink in as people they know get it and get real sick with it. And I'm like, yeah, it's real, isn't it? Welcome to the real world, asshole. This is where I've been living for the last 3 weeks.
Well, the WHO came out today and said, hey, people under 40, you can still get it. The data says that it's fatal if you're over 60, but there's nothing that said that you can't get it and you can't go to the hospital for it.
No, I mean, that's...
Yeah, not like it kills you if you're over 60, and if you're under, it's like taking ecstasy.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're under, it's like partying.
Well, yeah, I mean, the nature of my job, every day I'm at work, I'm out in the public. Average day, just an average day, average shift, this shit not going on, I cross paths with over 100 people easy. You know, now, if I cross paths with 100 people, I'm probably going to be fucking on the verge of a goddamn panic attack. But
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, where all these people fucking come from at once. But I'm out in it. So I'm like, yeah, I don't, the whole, wow, this is strange. It's kind of wore off, man. It's like, how sick am I going to get when I get sick?
Damn.
Because that's just all there is to it. There's just, if I sit and go, oh, maybe you'll be fine. Then the other side of the coin is maybe I'll get really sick. Maybe I'll end up dead. You know, good to know what my life is worth, but still, it's like I can't think like that. So believe me, I'd love to have one of y'all's jobs. Hey, work from home, right? Not a problem. Not a problem. My biggest problem would be I would want to go out in the middle of the night, but everything's closed now.
Yeah.
Probably because they're afraid too many motherfuckers would be like me and go out in the middle of the fucking night. We'll find out exactly how many insomniacs and night owls we have in this country. Which I got to ask, though. because, you know, people I'm staying with, Scott and AJ, they're like, it's some of the best sleep I've had as an adult. Like, they're like, we're sleeping 7, 8, 9 hours. This is great. I'm like, damn. All right.
I'm keeping the same schedule that I was on. I'm still up till 1, 2 in the morning every night and getting up at like 7, 7:30. So I'm essentially still on the same schedule.
Gotcha. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like something
There's
like
no commute
that's come from everything. No commute. Yeah.
No commute.
Money.
Yeah. I mean, I've put 100 miles on my car in the last month. You know,
yeah. Too bad if you call your insurance company and try to explain that, they'll be like, "That's nice. No rate reduction."
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't gotten gas since March 12th. Yeah, because I'm not going. And the places I are going aren't far away, and it looks like when I do get gas, it's going to be under $20 to fill up my tank.
Yeah, I almost got gas today just for the hell of it. I still had half a tank, and gas was $1.29.
Yeah,
I'm like, holy shit! I'm a teenager again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I saw the lowest that someone found was $1.19, and I was like, I think the lowest I ever remember it since I started driving was like 97 cents in Florida.
One of the Facebook groups I'm in for Specs Howard, somebody posted it was 99 cents at a Citgo in the Hood last Thursday night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And they're talking about the possibility of, this was a couple days ago, so this may have passed, but oil was down to like $5 a barrel, and they were talking about it possibly going negative. And I don't even know how that works. But apparently there's only so many places you can store oil in the world, and once you run out, you have to pay people to take oil from you. I'm not sure what a negative value on a barrel of oil ultimately means, but that's insane.
Consider the source. But during one of his press briefings last week, DJT painted the picture that there's just oil tankers just hanging out because they can't empty. There's nothing for them to empty into.
Yes, absolutely. We are at capacity. And this just happens to, the oil prices were already dropping considerably before we went into lockdown mode in the U.S.
Yeah.
And that was because of an oil war that Saudi Arabia is fighting with Russia. So, yeah, I mean, it just, that happening at a time where now nobody's driving, so the demand for oil is vastly decreasing. I mean, I'm sure this will all shoot back up. The Saudis and the Russians will come to another agreement. Everyone will get back on the road, and we'll probably go back up over $3.
Yeah, that is kind of
that's when Rich pops the trunk and unleashes his 50 caliber surprise to fuck off my road.
We're supposed to be seeing some good news coming up soon here, though. The regulations, the new auto insurance regulations in Michigan are going to kick in, I think, in June.
What does that mean?
It means that they no longer... the biggest one is that you're not required to have unlimited health coverage, basically. So what it's going to mean is that a lot of people are going to see a reduction in their rates. Myself, I pay currently $270 a month for insurance. And I've seen estimates that that's going to drop by anywhere from $100 to $120.
Nice. Hey, as somebody who's currently insuring 2 cars, that is an awesome thing you just said.
Yeah. I don't know that everyone's going to be seeing that same type. Like I said, I pay higher, because I had a period of being uninsured, and I got a stupid ticket with 2 points that's going to fall off in a couple months too, so that'll help as well. But I don't think that everyone's going to see $100 come off of their insurance. If you're paying $150, you're not going to suddenly just be paying $50 a month. But it is going to come down considerably if the plan works.
I'm paying $360 to insure 2 vehicles.
Yeah,
let's go. Hey, you turn it into $260. I wouldn't mind.
I think that's probably what you're looking at if Whitmer's plan works again.
Hey, give Papa $100 a month back. That's all I care about. All right.
But yeah, wouldn't it be nice if we could actually see a bit of rebate because we're not out driving?
Yeah.
I mean, some people might ultimately, because, and I'm sure they'll factor this in some way, but a lot of drivers now, you have an app or even a device that you put in your car that monitors your driving. I have Esurance, and it's just an app on my phone that uses my location data. Yep.
No, I've had it. I had the device with Progressive. I had a device with State Farm. Yeah, it's the thing you plug into your car's computer, and
that part of that, what they're recording is how many miles you're actually driving, and that helps determine your rate, because the more you're on the road, the more likely you are to get into an accident. It's just a numbers game. Mm-hmm. So with less of us on the road, less chance of us getting into an accident, we should be paying less in insurance.
And more chances for Rich to get into an accident.
But, I think that would be disastrous, I think, for the auto insurance industry. I mean, not as disastrous as probably other insurance industries are being hit right now. Well, with all the claims being made on, big venues having to cancel events. Event insurance, I don't know how that survives.
Unemployment insurance too. I mean, I don't think we talked about this last week. They added another.
Unemployment insurance would ultimately be there. I mean, where it lacks, the government would fill in that gap.
They added 3.1 million extra jobs. In March, 700,000 jobs in March went down the shitter. That's what DJT has been leaning on for the last 3 fucking years.
Well, it was on one of the NPR finance oriented shows that they have. They were talking about whether this is a depression or we're going to be entering a depression. And, I mean, obviously this is a recession that we're in, and and it will probably continue, but they were trying to nail down the term, what makes it actually a depression. Mm-hmm. And there is 2 ways that they could go with it, talking to the experts, depending on how you measure it. If you just measure the amount of loss in jobs, loss in the stock market, loss of whatever number you're using to measure that, we're already there. This is a depression. If you consider a depression to be a length of time, like having a loss in jobs or productivity or whatever over a certain length of time, obviously that remains to be seen. Mm-hmm. But if you're just looking at the raw numbers, this is a depression.
Well, but also too, if we want to
the only question is how quickly can we get out of it?
Well, the thing that will separate this one from the one in 1929 is the banks failed in 29. That was a huge part of it as well. There's now mechanisms in place to keep that from happening. That's what caused those mechanisms to exist.
Absolutely. And I don't think that we're going to be looking at another Dust Bowl situation.
Yeah, we're not going to be standing in line for bread. But it might be this century's version of it, but it's not going to be the shit we saw in the history books. And the other thing I keep thinking too is we're going to see, especially if once a vaccine shows up, we're going to see everything go the other way historically too. I think we're going to see a snap back the other way.
Mm-hmm. And then we can all tell our kids stories about how when the PlayStation 5 came out, I waited in line for 3 days and had to stand 20 feet from anyone else.
But that's only going to come with eradication of this, I think. You know, it's not going to happen when we're all out of our house in July. It's once a vaccine shows up and it gets rid of this thing, that's what's going to give us our sense of safety again.
Yeah, but Fauci was out there talking about the seasonal idea again, right?
Well, that's because
he was saying that this might be a yearly event, not necessarily with this virus, but we might see a big virus that, you know, that just tears ass through the world.
Well, I tell Dr. Barry McGuire to calm down. And I mean, he's a doctor, but this has happened once in our entire lives. Now it's going to start being a seasonal thing. That's the kind of stuff I don't agree with. Like, I get it with this might come back again, but saying that this situation might start showing up more frequently, But again, he's a doctor, I'm not. I'm an idiot in the basement.
But there's plenty of data to support that. We just haven't we never saw the bird flu or the whatever, SARS, any of the other, smaller epidemics that have happened that haven't really hit the U.S. shores. Mm-hmm. Those were precursors for what we see now. And sure, only time is going to tell us whether this is a blip or a ramp up. But, you could go either way with it right now.
No, I agree. Hopefully it's just a collective call to the entire world to get our shit together. Healthcare wise.
I mean, ultimately, I don't know what Dr. Fauci's point is. He's not the economist. I understand, planting the seed of going, sorry, saying that, look, this is some shit that we're all going through, but we have to look at this like we might be going through this every year or every few years or maybe just once a decade, but either way, we want to be prepared for it when it happens again.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said for that. But why are we all listening to Dr. Fauci? Because we want to know what to do about this virus right here, right now. Mm-hmm. We can talk long-term plans when we are looking at the tail end of this thing.
I also think we'd listen to Fauci, too, because he's been around for 5 presidents. There's no partisan in his history.
Oh, no, I'm not questioning why people would listen to him. Just I think he's a little bit off message. I understand that he wants to prepare people for something, but we don't need to be prepared for the next crisis. We need to be calmed about the current one.
Yeah. All right. So Monday, yay! That's where we're at, everybody. Yeah, good times. We're on this thing. It's God damn it, that's now becoming cliche, but it's true, right? I mean, it's all we can do. We do our little podcast every day. You're listening. If you're liking it, you're letting us know. Thank you. And just keep doing what we're doing. This is now what I think it's going to be my 4th week being working from home. Our 3rd week in Michigan being told to shelter in place. So, you guys getting antsy yet? Well, Rich, you get to leave the house. But, Aaron, you getting antsy yet? Like today, Mandy and I finally decided to institute a walk once a day. Is he there? Am I talking to nobody?
There you go. I had to mute because I was coughing and it wouldn't unmute for me for some reason.
What, have you gotten antsy yet?
I'm antsy as fuck. We're shut in. I just want to go out constantly.
But that's what I was telling Mandy. I get it. I'm an introvert. This is cool. This is really not altering our routine all that much. All I would like to do is just go play around the golf once a day. Get outside. I don't even give a shit. If I could do that once a day, that'd be cool. You're outside. I'd play by myself, too. I'd be social distancing like a motherfucker. Closest person's fucking 100 feet away. But yeah, we instituted a walk today. And this weekend, we finally enacted a mutual separate rooms policy. We figured, it took 22 days. We're going to make it. She's like, hey, I'm going to be in there today. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be in here today. We were okay with that. You know, you can only be on top of each other for so long, 3 weeks. She put it correct. She put it in a nice way today. You know, every now and then you want to be a little less, I hate your face. Yeah, so the fun times of quarantine. So thanks to everybody who's been listening, who has been downloading, who's been sharing. We've got some new followers. We've got some new listeners. We see you. We thank you. If you like it, please share it with somebody. Tell somebody. That's how this works and how it grows. We're on Twitter at unregimentedpod. You can email us unregimented@christophermedia.net. We're on Instagram at unregimented. Spreaker.com, Spotify.com, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, ChristopherMedia.net is where you can listen. It is also where you can donate by hitting the PayPal button. There's an Amazon banner where you can click through when you're doing your online shopping like everyone is doing now. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
See ya.
Later, guys.
Unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.